a show called Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, and I'm one of the leads, and my name does not appear on the box, but Vic Mignogna's name does. Even though I'm the lead character.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Previously on Izzyland, it's pretty clear which one's lying. I mean, their freaking last name is a dead giveaway. Yet, this soy boy Mike can realize that, and it's not even that subtle. Then, Jamie Markey, another participant and defamer, decided to write up some lame-ass poem that looks to be directed at Nick. Now Jamie, I wouldn't be talking if I were you. Surely your lawyer gave you that warning. You're bound to get deposed next, so I doubt you want the beard to have you read these tweets on the record and eventually in court. Seems to me you're gonna have to learn the hard way, as did Ron. Smiley face. Heads up! The official court hearing for the TCPAs will begin on September 6th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So kick Vic is scrambling while the beard is reloading. But it's time to get back into the depositions, see the highlights and what has transpired, who's guilty and who's innocent. All this and more coming up right here on Izzyland.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Welcome to Izzyland, it's your boy Izzy, back with another awesome video. I definitely apologize for being extra late and gay. I've been booming quite a lot. Whoops! So anyways, a couple weeks ago, Dallas News published an article that discusses Vic Mignogna's sexual harassment allegations and the lawsuit that he's filed for defamation. They interviewed Rial and Jamie Markey to talk about their reason for accusing Vic and the sort of harassment they received from his fans during the entire process. Markey says, and I quote, "It's been really hard, but I would do it again. The greater good was way more important than either one of us in this. I'm standing up for so many women and victims who feel like they can't say anything." Then she says that staff at conventions and studios tell her that they are constantly getting harassing emails about us, even our friends or colleagues we've simply done a panel discussion with. They are doxing those people and making it very known that they will get the same treatment we are. Okay, so first off, yes, we shouldn't go out of our way to engage with these individuals. Two wrongs to make a right. Even Nick Rekieta and Vic himself have informed others not to harass or engage with the accusers, despite them being two-faced, heartless, passive-aggressive snakes in whale clothing. That being said, Jamie Markey, don't act like you and Rial are completely innocent. You went on a Twitter tirade and have harassed and made threats to others as well. You even let your fans go after Vic supporters, mock them, and even tried to run from the law. But I'm supposed to believe you, right? Anyways, Rial then says, with everything I've been through, the death threats, the hatred, trying to ruin my career, trying to get me fired because I came out and told the truth, that it is worth it if it saves one woman, one girl from having to deal with this kind of situation again. We know this is going to be awful, and who knows how long it's going to be this awful, but as long as we've got each other and we're standing together strong, let's get the truth out there. Wow. That's pretty much the gist of what was in that publication. Sorry, but my anxious ADHD self can't read it word from word. But now it's time to get back to our regularly scheduled program.
And so I sent him an email and thanked him for his support.
Is that the only exchange that y'all had? Or have y'all had continuous email, text message? Yeah, do you talk about this litigation?
Briefly.
Do you know what his cell number is?
No, sir.
Is it stored in your phone somewhere?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you got a text message from Mr. Rekieta?
I don't recall.
Have you done anything to delete any communications off your either email or phone or other electronic devices from Mr. Rekieta?
Well, I have a routine of once I finish a conversation with somebody, I delete it because I don't want to have 600 text messages. So if you and I have a conversation about a particular thing, where are we going to lunch today, whatever, once that conversation is over, I delete it.
All right, have you ever done a factory reset on your phone?
No, sir.
Do you ever take your phone and put a lightning cord in it? Well, strike that. What kind of phone do you use?
iPhone.
Uh-oh. Vic uses an iPhone. They finally got something on him. But I mean, okay, so if y'all didn't get that, this Lemoyne guy is asking about Vic's connection to Nick Rekieta, who's the internet, who you know as the internet lawyer. And well, Vic did speak with him over via email or phone. I think it was Nick who reached out to him, mentioning that they had fans that were very concerned about his situation and wanted to help. And so they're already he said that he's already the fans, they're all trying to start up this GoFundMe, which is supposed to help with Vic's legal fees. And this Lemoyne guy, this Lemoyne lawyer, wait, strike that. He's trying so hard to somehow, create collateral damage, trying to make it seem, I'm not familiar with legal terms, but he's trying to make it seem as if Vic tried to do something with the GoFundMe or whatever. And he emphasized constantly that he had no knowledge of it. So, but Lemoyne's still trying to drag this all out and trying to still push on to it. I'm guessing that's the only thing he has, and I believe that Jamie Markey is trying to, is fishing him these sort of questions, trying so hard to get on Vic or whatever, despite them barely not having anything, no evidence to stand on. So they're taking whichever cheap shots or low blows they can handle, they can dish out. So it's like that's what is going on here.
And when you say inadvertently offending, you're talking about giving hugs or kisses and things like that, people that didn't want it.
Whatever it was that people had a problem with.
Right. Now, were you also referring to the various instances in your hotel room where it was just you and a woman? Was that
No,
part
sir.
of it? So the public and private apologies didn't apply to that.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
As we sit here today, that a number of people have accused you of inappropriate behavior in your hotel room at these various conventions. You agree with that?
No, sir.
You don't think you've been accused publicly of inappropriate conduct in your hotel room?
You said a number of people. I'm not aware of a number of people accusing me of that.
So you're quibbling with the word.
Jay Sean, don't tell me your biggest evidence, I guess, is pretty much hearsay. So, bunch of people making all these accusations, and these stories they don't add up. They're ever changing, and they're completely false. I mean, is this what you gotta go by? I mean, last time I recall, according to Law and Order, I know that's a terrible template or example, whatever, but all I know is that this sort of stuff, this sort of evidence you're providing, it's not going to hold up in court. I guarantee it. I mean, if I was the judge, I would be like, what the hell is this? First off, Vic doesn't have fans going into his hotel room, okay? That he meets them at conventions, and okay, he kisses and hugs them. That's a natural greeting. It's like if Lemoyne, if you honestly believe that's considered harassment, that's considered, then don't go to Europe, don't go to freaking Italy. Because Vic is Italian. It's like, okay, maybe some people would go, like, I don't like that feeling or whatever. It is, but no one has really done that. Okay, and Vic's not the kind of person that won't take no for an answer. He's like, look, if if you're uncomfortable and you tell him like, look, I don't want that, he'll let go. He won't like be all up on you or whatever, or push it further. I mean, I could just tell just from his body reaction how he is as an actor, and just as a people person, just as a person. I just don't see it. Highly doubtful. I mean, it would have been more believable had these said victims weren't all over Twitter continuing their little bash party, because I mean, and actually real victims would have kept quiet about this sort of stuff. But I digress.
What if there are women out there who have never publicly accused you of doing anything inappropriate, but are willing to testify in this case? Or should their identities be disclosed to the public?
No, I don't believe so.
Good answer. Look at the monster.
Are you aware of anyone involved in this lawsuit receiving death threats?
No, sir.
Have you
Because they
received
aren't.
any death threats?
No, sir.
And you certainly don't want anyone receiving death
Absolutely
threats?
not.
You think you're a pretty good judge of character of people?
Apparently not. I thought I was.
And when did you start to doubt your ability to judge people's character?
When people that I have known for many, many years who have treated me publicly, privately, to my face, in dozens of settings as friends, and then spent the last 5 months trying to ruin my career and reputation.
Okay, look, I want to point something out, guys. Like Vic, I'm not always a good judge of character. I try to be, but you could say I somewhat developed a sixth sense just by how Vic speaks. His responses and his body language. He looks more of a victim than someone like Monica Rial that's testifying and claiming that he's a monster, and he's more a victim than these said accusers like Monica Rial, especially unlike Caitlin Salcedo, Miss that white orangutan, whatever that thing is. He just nothing really gives. He didn't say anything that really stood out that he had bad intentions or he was a narcissist. Now that's a whole different story with Monica Rial, and I'll get to her in a bit. But I just want to put that out there because Vic, just from what I've noticed. And I don't BS around or anything like that, but he looks a lot. He looks a lot like he's showing a lot of the victim traits, and especially him not having much trust in people, especially after was happened here, and lately, and him, like he mentioned, being backstabbed by the people that he thought were his best friends, and he cared for them dearly. But you want to call him a monster. You want to say that he's the bad guy here, he's the bad person here, and everyone else is just innocent.
And so I went to his hotel room because, like I said, I had been flirting with Raleigh all weekend, and he was dating a friend of mine named Michelle Specht. So I went with him to the hotel room. He played for me the video, and in the middle of the video, he grabbed me by the arms and he turned me around and he started kissing me. And I was...
It's okay.
I was raped when I was 15 years old. And so for me, it was a very difficult moment. I was frightened, I was scared, I didn't know what to do. When I was 15, I had fought back, and that didn't end well for me, so I just kind of went along with it.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Yeah, you wish he kissed you. You wish he let you come to his hotel room and then y'all had a makeout session or whatever. Like that's quite the story. I mean, Vic did mention that he has his colleagues come to his hotel room, or who he considers to be his friends, come and visit or whatever. And it's always it's always at a business level, okay? No connection. And the only affair he had was with this one co-worker who he was seeing for quite some time. And I mean, that's probably the reason why you concocted this so convincing, riveting story, because you were jealous that he went for a girl who was way more attractive than you, even though he cheated, even though he committed infidelity. I mean, he's only human, but I mean, look, that will be maybe one of his few mistakes, but he's not like some raging sexual deviant as you try to perceive him to be, as you try to make him out to be. That's definitely a smear tactic. Remember what I mentioned about me being able to detect who's lying and who's not, as well as who are narcissists. See, Monica Rial is proof. She's in how a typical like covert narcissist would act. They don't put on like this demonstration, this act, and they sometimes do it so well that they're able to, a lot of people will fall for it. I know she's definitely gonna play the the sob story in front of the jury. That's probably what she's going to do. But I'm just saying, this is, but just watch what I played next. Just watch what happens next, okay? Then you'll really see how two-faced she is.
Stated it in one of my Twitter statements, or I know I've said it on Twitter repeatedly, that I've said that if he would apologize and he would seek counseling and seek help, that at that point, then I feel like maybe they would consider and lay low for a while.
Okay, that is so freaking patronizing. Like, maybe he should maybe he should apologize. He did apologize. He did. He put up a tweet stating that, okay, if I hurt anyone, I do apologize. If I've made anyone uncomfortable, I apologize. He said that sort of stuff. He even messaged you saying like, okay, you're a dear friend, but you're saying all these things about me. I just want to understand why you think this way about me. What have I done to you? Not just. It's not like he's trying to act all like it's not like he's playing a game or anything. He's just wondering, why are you saying these things about him? And then you don't even bother. You don't really speak to them. And then, oh damn! I wish I could find the tweet, but you actually, I guess you copied what he said and copy and paste what he said, and then you continue to smear him, saying, see this guy keeps harassing me or whatever. See what kind of person he is. It's like, Monica Rial, you are so full of crap. You really are. You are so full of crap. That's why you're guzzling all that water. You're trying to refuel. You're trying to drink up all your lies, drink up all your BS. You're you know you screwed up. You just like. I'm sorry. This kind of pissing me off. You know, the way she said it. It just takes me back to like the various people that every time I reach out, because I've dealt with emotional narcissistic abuse. So yeah, I'm definitely a victim. But when I try to reach out, I get that response like, oh, you know, maybe you should go. Oh, you poor thing. Maybe you should talk to someone, whatever. Maybe you should apologize. It's like when I hear her say something like that, it's like listening to those enablers and those narcs that I've been dealing with lately. It's just I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting off topic.
It's a show called Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, and I'm one of the leads, and my name does not appear on the box, but Vicmignogna's name does. Even though I'm the lead character.
No victim would ever say something like that. Okay? No victim. Even the volatile and unstable ones or whatever, they would never say anything like this. You know, even those who have Stockholm syndrome, where they sympathize with their captor and all that, they wouldn't say this at all. Clearly, Monica has motive, okay? Because she's saying that that Vic was on the cover of a anime box, or a box art or whatever, and she wasn't, even though she was the lead character. She outright said that. See, that right there confirms that Monica isn't a real victim. Like, she's just putting on a facade. Just from letting that sort of statement slip. Because now she really does have ill intentions. And I mean, that's what I mean by most narcissists, whether it be malignant or covert, even if they know how to put on a great act or whatever and make it seem as if they're innocent or whatever, something always slips. You know, like they always say something that gives them away, like incriminates them. So you know, and that's practically what Rial did. Well, yeah, what Monk Rial did. So.
Heard rumors, or you've made assumptions that Funimation may have done something privately as a sponsor of a convention to get you canceled. Fair?
Yes, sir.
Other than rumors, do you have any other evidence of that sort of behavior by Funimation?
Not at present.
Who at Funimation would even do that?
I don't know people at Funimation.
I would encourage you to look at some of the statements made by Monica Rial and Jamie Markey and Ron Toy, talking about Funimation this and Funimation that, and Funimation knows this and everybody at Funimation that. And I mean, they have you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Brandished the Funimation name, and you know, and I'm quite certain. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I can only I can only assume. I think a reasonable person would assume that there were entities at Funimation that did not like me for whatever reason and wanted me gone, did not want me to play the character Broly that I'd been playing for 15 years. And so to ask me the question, your question was who at Funimation would do that?
Well, when you
I think it's been established there are people at Funimation that don't like me much and wanted me gone.
Well, when you say that there are people at Funimation who don't like you much and wanted you gone, who are you referring to specifically?
Chris Sabat.
Is he a Funimation employee?
I would say he has a great deal of weight at Funimation. A great deal of weight. And I mean, yes, he is probably. Funimation outsources production to his studio. Chris Sabat has been involved with Funimation since Funimation was in the Frost Bank building on 820 when I started working there. So Chris Sabat, for one.
Who else?
I would say other voice actors and directors.
Can you name names?
Do I have to? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not a name namer. I'm not that kind of a person.
This is kind of a bridge burning exercise we're going through, so let's burn the bridges. Who else?
Yeah, the bridge is kind of burned, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to say. This is my chance to ask you questions. Who besides Chris Sabat at Funimation?
Monica Rial, Jamie Markey, Damon Mills, Sarah Weidenhefty. God, anybody else who's ever said anything? Chris Rager, Josh Martin. I know these people are unimportant.
I would
DC
wager
Douglas,
that voice actors like
Sean Schemmel,
Monica Rial, Jamie Markey, J. Michael Tatum, by their own admission on the Twitter storm, the other voice actors that have been employed by Funimation for many, many years. Mike McFarland, Colleen Klinkenbeard, Damon Mills, Sean Schemmel. See, what Funimation may not get is that these voice actors have been employed by them for many years, and when they speak, the public at large sees Funimation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vic Mignogna just went full on Chad. It's like he went in. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the people that he's listing all over Twitter and just kept on bashing him. Yeah, especially Chris Sabat. He's one of the people who went as far as to he called up the conventions threatening to, I guess, stop the conventions from operating or him and a few other voice actors from showing up. Yeah, he abused his power. That's what Chris Sabat did. And he does seem to be the mastermind behind all of this. Just considering how much, like you said, how much weight, how much accessibility he has and influence. So yeah, and Vic, you should also add, Black Star, Brittany Karbowski. She was making lies about you as well. Then there's Karen Edwards, that's new. Then again, I mean, maybe Karen Edwards, maybe she is a victim, but she's accusing the wrong person. Maybe, I think, Vic, I would go as far as to say that Chris Sabat, considering how much influence he has, that's like a major red flag as well, because I feel like Chris Sabat, his hands are more dirty than we think. I think Chris Sabat, I feel like he has done some disgusting things. If you get what I'm alluding to, I feel like he's the one who committed sexual assault and harassment. I mean, even Nick brought up that Chris Sabat, who's probably Iago, he actually had an inappropriate interaction with an underage fan at a convention. That was Chris Sabat. And hell, Funimation, they actually tried to cover up one voice actor who had child porn. So yeah, and then I wouldn't be surprised that Chris Sabat and Monica Rial, I mean, yeah, Chris Sabat and Monica Rial, they're one of the few people that actually tried to defend this person who a sexual act with a child, and they tried to cover it up. Then you got J. Michael Tatum, who he's like the Walmart version of Crispin Freeman. That's who he is. It's like he's not all that great. Now if it was Travis Willingham or Troy Baker, there would be some raised eyebrows. Let's say that, because it's like, yeah, oh man, what a mess! What a mess! It's very clear now who's the innocent one, because Vic, just from what I remember of him, he's like, that's not kind of person he is. And I know that everybody's human and everybody has their dark secrets or whatever, but Vic is like one of those rarities who's just, okay, maybe he's made some mistakes, but he doesn't have like a dark past, or he's not like very like untrusting or anything like that. That's what you recognize when it comes to, who's the victim and who's the abuser, the enabler, whatever. Cause like I mentioned, I've been through a psychological, emotional abuse from the very people who I thought cared about me, and I can't simply take them to court or file a report on them. It's not like I haven't, but because of who they are, there are a lot of people who just go, well, they just make excuses for them, and they look at me as if I'm crazy or there's something wrong with me or whatever. But I don't go all over Twitter trying to, go after them. Considering, even considering what they've done to me, more so psychologically, to the point where I can't, work a job or anything like that. And the best I can do is try and make a video for you guys, and give you good content, or so I try to. But I try to avoid as much conflict as possible. If anything, I just want to get out of this environment. I feel like that's the best solution for me, and that's how most victims are. They don't go out of their way to keep on, going after their abuser or like that. But there's always the fear that they won't be believed, and because of their abuser or assault or whatever, they have power of authority, which can be pretty difficult. Not to mention, like, if you haven't been physically abused, but more so psychologically, it's hard to prove it. And even when I pretty much implied to Nick Ricada that that's what I've been through, and I asked him about it, he told me that it can be done, but it's like, can a case of emotional abuse be brought to court? And he mentioned that it could be done, but it's going to be very difficult. How Rial and Marky, how they've been acting, they don't come off as a victim, whereas Vic, he shows the classic signs, the classic traits, and the other thing is that this Me Too movement, it's like, I get the message behind it, but what I hate is those individuals who take advantage of it for their own personal gain, their own personal agenda, and it makes it much harder for actual victims to come forward, for people who've been through such traumatic events, because if they do come forward, you know, nowadays, people just laugh at them, and they won't believe them, especially if you're a male victim. Like it's gonna be much worse. But that's it for today's video, and in closing, I'm gonna show you a clip of how Vic is such a horrible person. So check it out.
You reflect on things that are going on, you know what I mean? Difficulties and people and motivations and agendas, you know. I had a thought. I want to share it with you guys. This is just a general observation, and I hope you'll take this home with you. Our world is becoming more and more angry. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yes.
People are angry. People are angry. And here's what I was thinking the other day. I watched a movie on an airplane a few weeks ago. 5 feet apart, 6 feet apart. It was about a girl that had a disease that makes you very susceptible to germs and stuff. And so no one's supposed to get within, like, you're not supposed to get within like 6 feet or 5. And she, cystic fibrosis? Could that be it? I think that's what it was. So she was literally in a hospital. Like, she literally lived in a hospital. And she fell in love with this boy who was also in the hospital with the same disease. So they're not allowed to be near each other, but they really like each other. The movie began, this is the part I want you to hear. The movie began with a little narration. And it was the girl that played the main character girl, and she said this. She said, oh, hold on. I want to get it right.
Take your time, take your time.
Right. Go ahead. She said something to the effect of, actual studies have shown that children, especially babies and children, need human contact as much as they need air. So here's what I've been contemplating lately. Human contact is being vilified.
Yeah.
Do you see it? In our culture, you don't dare reach out and connect with another human. Oh, I'm too afraid. What if they're offended? Yeah, that's why we're in the problem. That's why we're in the world that we're in now. Because I came from an era, and I'm Italian. Any Italians in here? Italian, we have right? La Familia, huh? You know it. So, all my life, you hug people. You're open and you're kind to people. And it's interesting to me, I believe that there is a direct correlation. I think there's a direct connection between what is happening in our culture where you don't dare touch somebody and the anger that people feel. People feel so alone and isolated. And people that I've met over the years at conventions, 500 at a time, appreciate the hug and the kindness and that openness. And just a couple don't. You know, just a few. But it ends up ruining it for everybody. Because suddenly you're afraid to just reach out and be kind to somebody. And they may desperately need that. You know? This young lady, I'm gonna pick on you.
That's fine.
This young lady could be going through the worst time in her life right now. And it was all she could do. It took every ounce of energy she could find to drag herself to this event to meet me. Okay? And she might be in such a bad place emotionally, been abandoned by a parent or a sibling or a boyfriend, and the fact that I came up, may I?
It's fine.
The fact that I came up to her and did this, and looked her in the face and acknowledged her and connected with her, might give her the strength she needs to continue. Whereas if I sat behind the table and went, hey, thanks for coming. Fist bump. And then she goes home and she is as lonely and feels as disconnected as she ever did. So I'm not even applying this to my situation. I hope you understand this. I'm talking about our world. People have become so angry and so easily offended by everything. And I really think that there is a connection between the culture that is telling us, don't you dare touch anybody. Don't connect. No human contact. Because it could be offensive or it could be misconstrued. But I think there's a connection between that and the isolation people feel and the anger that they feel. It would never be my desire to hurt anyone. I would never in a billion years want to offend or hurt anyone. That has never been my intention or my desire.
That's why we're here.
I believe you guys know that about me. And so I just wanted to take a minute because, like I said, I sit around my house alone thinking about these things. Maybe too much. But I really believe that's true. I really believe that's true. So if you have people in your lives, hug them. You know, reach out and just acknowledge them. That little bit of human contact right there. Now, he could go home and say I assaulted him.
Not fair. Why am I getting picked on?
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? This is not assault, everyone. And you know what? It's actually an offense to people that are actually assaulted. I mean, think about that. You know? So I just want you guys to know my heart. That's all. I want you to know that I appreciate so much you guys being here and your kindness and your support for me and my work over the years. I have taken my position in this industry very seriously as long as I've been in it. I've seen it as something much bigger than just a job. I feel like it's been an opportunity to connect with people and to hopefully try to be a positive influence and an encouragement to people. And that's been the greatest privilege for me. And I really think that our culture has changed and not for the better. I think people need that human contact, like that movie said. I think it's as valuable to us as oxygen. So I really hope, and you know what, there's so many more of us. Do you realize there's so many more good people in the world than there are the offended, outraged? So many more of us, but we go about our lives. We're responsible, you know, we have jobs and we have families, we have relationships. We just go about our lives while this handful of people changes the whole landscape. And the majority of us are standing back on what's going on. Like, how is this happening? So you guys, be a voice for good. Be a voice for light and kindness and connect with people. Because you never know who in your life needs it badly. You know? Sorry. Soapbox is over. Sorry.